welcome to our 9th presentation of the Emerald Rush expansion to Donkey Kong Bonanza. Moreover, this is our first return to the game after having been off for about a month, because we did hit a couple of major milestones in the previous stream that we had, and we're back today to look at the latest iteration of the monthly special events that have been introduced to the Emerald Rush calendar. So let's just take a quick look at how we've been doing so far and what is to come. So today, we'll be looking at an event in the Hilltop layer. It is supposedly entitled So Strong It's Funny, and I haven't looked any further into what that entails, and actually it's only really occurred to me now that the titles for each of the events don't actually appear in-game. The previous one was called Chip Fever, but I guess we also found out about that outside the game itself, unless I'm much mistaken, and that we're shown a title for it later on. But anyway, as with the event that took place previously right here in DK Island, no doubt there are going to be a couple of special event exclusive perks that we have not seen before that we're going to have to plan around. And as for how we've been doing in the main game, in the previous stream we, as I said, hit a fairly major landmark, which is that even though we're fairly far from hitting 10k on the card, we did manage to unlock and complete the last of the layers that we were missing, which was the Tempest layer, which, like everything else, we scouted and cleared on difficulty 4. We've got the Emerald medal over here for DK Island because we cleared everything from 1 to 7, and it looks like you do in fact need to have clears on every difficulty, so eventually we'll want to go back to some of the easier, more trivial ones in every layer as we fill them in. And Hilltop, which we're featuring today, we previously pushed up to difficulty 5, and that was the last thing we did in the previous stream, so hopefully some of that game knowledge will leak over to the run today, although given that we've been away from it for a month, we don't exactly know how successfully that will go. Regardless, for the Chip Fever event last month, we cleared it in one shot and had the rest of the stream to just push on some other difficulties and uncleared content. And today we'll see how quickly we can do the new one just going in totally blind, because as we can see here in the description, there is a Chunky Kong statue for hitting 80k, and the Lanky Kong statue for hitting 1 million, which is going to return, or rather, which is going to be rewarded to us if we find perhaps some of the event-exclusive synergies and just figure out, like a puzzle, the strategy that is being handed to the players, since this event is being done with preset seeds for the order of the void goals, the order of which perks spawn on which bananas, etc. And so it's something that's sort of repeatable until you figure it out. Now, we don't know how it goes over multiple runs because, as I said, last time we one-shot it, so we'll see how we do today. And Descriptivist, to answer your question about the animated adaptations of either the Kirby series or the DKC CG series that I think was all the way back in the 1990s, I think. I must have caught bits and pieces of the DKC one in particular. I can't say I actually remember it apart from just a general sense of what it looked like at the time. I never actually watched the Kirby series itself, but I've been looking into it recently because I've been digging into some of the music in Kirby Air Riders, which originated in Air Ride, and some of that actually originated in the original Japanese Kirby anime, but was oddly enough not localized. So the first introduction to some of the Kirby Right Back At You music that was exclusive to Japan for an international audience would have been via Air Ride and would have been reintroduced recently via Air Riders. And the kind of signature track in that sense is Checker Nights, which has been in my head all week. And we'll see if some of the Bonanza songs manage to drive that out, albeit temporarily. So anyway, before I go into the event, let me just check my clothes to make sure we know what buffs we're holding. I last played this game clearing Hilltop 5, so I think we're all set for Hilltop, but we don't know what's going to synergize with the event's own conditions here. So let's take a quick look so I at least know what I'm doing. So we got one of the Void Coast set. They don't stack apparently, so just one will do. We've got Mud speed increase. Yeah, we want that for Hilltop for sure. And we've got the Bonanza extension by 60% because that'll be most flexible for a whole range of strategies. So I think we're going to keep that unless there's a compelling reason not to. Anyway, let's get into it. That's enough preamble. More than enough preamble. Now again, muscle memory in this game might be very, very rusty after about a month off. But let's see how we do. And yeah, descriptive is I don't know much about American localizations of Japanese content. As I've recounted many times on the stream, Canada was in a bit of a different situation when it came to Japanese localizations because, and I'm going to say a word about this before I actually unpause so I can explain it properly. Back in the 1990s, there was a lot of early exposure to series like Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, etc. in Canadian media because of the fact that you could comply with domestic content regulations for domestically produced content within the country if you imported Japanese programs, like a lot of anime that was not previously localized, and just happened to apply a domestically sourced cast, like an all-Canadian voice cast, to the content that you had. So, for example, if they imported something like Sailor Moon, or for that matter, Power Rangers, I think, and did a Canadian dub for it, then that would be how children's television networks in particular would comply with content regulations for having a certain amount of content come from within your own country. So it's not just a total media takeover by the United States, which in Canada people have been very anxious about for decades and decades. So that's been kind of oddly influential in that a number of artists who kind of grew up in that environment have become very influential at being sort of the first cohort of being very anime influenced in Western animation. One very prominent example being Domichi at Pixar, the director of the film Turning Red and the short film Bao. Like, she kind of credits Sailor Moon and such programs as being her very foundational influence as an artist. And it's very easy to see why, because she grew up directly in that specific Japan to Canada import environment that I talked about. So anyway, I don't know what the situation was like with the US. I know that in some other countries like the UK, it took them ages just to get some of the big stuff like Studio Ghibli. Like, that didn't really start coming into the UK until Spirited Away, at least. So they kind of missed out on a lot of the initial buzz around things like My Neighbor Totoro or Princess Mononoke and so on, and kind of had to pick up on those later. Anyway, now that I've actually spoken about that, I can play. We've got a lot of stories about that kind of thing. So, that's the reward card. We'll just go for the top reward as soon as we can. Let's take a look at what we have. Living over here. Zebra's all the way down below, so we're not going there with our single warp barrel unless we have a reason. Yeah, if I recall, the tuning of the last event was essentially difficulty 4, which means 1 warp barrel, no starting bonanzas, and 10 rounds with resets on 3 and 6. And it looks like it's going to be the same thing this time, which means, oh, there is the warp down to the zebra. So if we clear out what we can and then spend the warp barrel at the end of the round on grabbing zebra, that's probably the best way to go about it. And we'll just have to pop some fossils early on and discover what perks we have. I think, well, Kong's kind of available right away. How do I zoom in here? We haven't played this in so long. Or is it? It's, yeah, down below. And then Banana-Chi over here, Banana Tone over here. Or not Banana Tone, Grow Tone over here. I think we just need to punch our way down and go for Kong immediately. Actually, no, it'll be through the cavern down here. So we pop over this way, backwards, down towards Kong, and then up from there probably. So Okay, it'll take a little while for us to get back up to speed here, I think. And oh no, it's with the escort. Okay. I don't remember this. Oh, okay. Let's see. We need to move this one up. Come on. Come with me if you want to live. Come with me if you want to live. Come on. Alright. However, this is first banana. So we don't need to worry about the other objective until we get second. No, it is second banana. Okay, that's going to be a mess. Well, there's one down here, right? We need to pop this one. And then there's a third one that we need to get in order to fill that in. Okay, we've like blown the opening round already, I think. Come on. Get over here. We don't have this time to waste. Get over here. Well, we can pop the banana to get over 125, but, like, we don't need Kong Bonanza that badly. Okay, I messed this up already, like in the very beginning, so let's get you over. Come on, get over here. Get over here. So we just totally blew the first round. We haven't picked up a single thing yet. Yeah, we'll need to route that out properly. But anyway, let's see what fossil we get off of this one. Surf and beat, charge groove, spin groove. Okay, again, this is going to be a preset sequence. This is a pretty huge level 3 boost in a bunch of this. Spin-based skills. Now, we have a great deal of trouble using some things like the spin powers on the zebra. So if this is built around spinning with the zebra, then we might be in some trouble. Surf and beat, however. Yeah, we can probably do that. As long as we remember. I find that this is difficult to aim, but we might just need to do it. We can have the charge punch with EK right away. No, we're going surfing. We'll just have to kill via surf. Okay, that was a mess. That was an absolute mess. We are actually not even very much over quota. Now, melon juice or banana G? Let's see what we can go for. Smash the emerald lumps. Yeah, we can get that for the goal, but we can also put that off until we maybe see if we're going to draw into something like the various rewards. We should go for banana to give you perks first. Melon juice capacity, for instance, isn't really immediately useful, but if we get the melon buff later on, then who knows? This is really encouraging me to go spin. Now, egg bomb. Well, we can kind of go chip order. Yeah, it looks like it's encouraging us to maybe build into a specific bonanza and use its powers accordingly. Now, going with egg bomb isn't going to synergize with going surf, though. I think going zero also isn't necessarily going to synergize with going surf. Now, let's go down and let's just grab that one. I totally messed this up as well because we are way off. And yeah, descriptive is you hope I complete the challenge in one night. Yeah, we completed one shot last time, but again, I'm very rusty and I'm already off to a very bad start, so I assume that we'll at least a second start in this one. And have fun if you do go watch Clair Obscure Expedition 33. I still have yet to play it myself. It's one of those things that's waiting for me to finally find time to do like a Game Pass catch-up month or something. And, okay. Let's grab this. And it's really encouraging egg. The amount of damage you sustain with Kong armor. Yeah, at no point have I figured out how to really use that properly. Spin-based skills, though. Is that just with the zebra spin, or is that with just maybe a spinning jump as well? Yeah, maybe we do need to go for an egg groove, and then But we don't even have ostrich yet. We need to look at the map to see if ostrich is even available, which... It doesn't make sense to get that. But then this is part of a preset, so why would it give you that? Unless, I guess, maybe ostrich comes in round 3, and then you can really build into egg. In a map like this where you have plenty of space aerially. I almost think we should re-roll this one. Yeah, it is not great. We're so tight against quota, though. Let's take egg, and then we'll... Like, if it's giving it to you this early, I think there's some expectation that ostrich is going to happen and happen soon. We also totally forgot to do the warp barrel thing at the zebra last round. Okay. Anyway, we'll... Oh, yeah, I totally forgot to turf surf. Gotta get some of the basic movement back under our fingers. Encore groove. We need bonanza forms. Storage groove is... I think that seems new, actually, with elephant. Interesting. And that's more emeralds, or in general, not just bound to combat objectives, which is actually kind of important. I actually like this one. This one I think could stack nicely. We just vacuum everything as elephant. And we know elephant is available. We just need to get it before 3. Which we can do. We can just surf towards it and build towards it now. Yeah, the ostrich one feels a little wasted at the moment. There is, of course, the hidden tone banana over here, but we don't have a reason to really spawn that yet, so I think we'll maybe just make our way across first. And pop what we can. Jump shot, health, elephant. Okay. Then Buzzoid objective is pretty close. Unfortunately, Buzzoid objective isn't going to be doable with the surf. We'll hop up there for that in due course. Okay. Let's grab everything we can. Negotiator, I think we want. Until we have a better idea of how everything's going to stack up here. So we can go for health. That should be just right outside. And then elephant is just punching in here. Which we have Kong, so we can punch through the concrete, which will help quite a bit. Okay. No reason to go low health in this map, as far as we know. Fossil radar is probably best here. Because we used to know everything here, we don't anymore, so. Okay. This is why you go Kong first, despite the overhead of having to do the puzzle piece early. Better to do it then instead of when you have a lot more trouble. Yeah, Emerald Negotiator is nice to get you started, but we need to scale that up a lot with multipliers to actually be good, I think. Anyway, at this point, what do we like on the timer? 37. Do we want to warp up here, or do we want to just climb it? I think we actually want to just punch our way all the way through the fast charge and climb. Maybe. Unless we go for fossils first, which is also a possibility. Now, we're over quota at this point, so we're not too worried about this round specifically, but we need a way to actually start scaling up. I think we have to be realistic about this and... Whoa. Uh-oh. Yeah, that was a mess. Let's go for fossils. Hang on, where did all the fossils go? Whistle, whistle. Okay, I don't remember how to play this game. Ah, there it is. Okay, the pit. Okay. Oh, and of course, we messed this up completely by digging too low. Okay, we're in big trouble. I think we warp down to the zebra, we grab it now, then we warp back for the objective. This, yeah, we punched too much of a hole here and I just fell straight down. Yeah, I'm rustier than I thought for sure. So let's
Should we go there?
go down here. Pop zebra since it's so far out of the way. There's a barrel here as well. Where even was it? There it is. It's actually just bottom of the pit here. Now, one objective, thanks to Negotiator, will just get us over the next thing, but Groove, yeah, we need a lot more Bonanza uptime. Turf Groove is nice because it scales up the objective. It synergizes well with Negotiator. I think we'll take it. And let's see, there's really nothing for us here until the banana back there is open. So I think I'm actually just going to pop back up and hit the objective now.
Should we go there?
Then, oh yeah, no, this you kind of need to surf this area, and it like totally fell down. Okay, this has been embarrassing so far. We used to know how to play this game. I was clearing stuff on 7. We were doing so well, and this has been a total disaster. We used a warp too, so absolute disaster. Hang on. Okay, how come I can't get to jump anymore? There we go. Oh, come on. We're just gonna die here and not even clear it, which is embarrassing given that this is only level 4 and we've been one-shotting them. Okay. Anyway, hitting one quota here will at least recover us a little bit. Amazing what a month of attrition can do to your level skill. Okay. Wait. Can't surf into it, unfortunately, but we'll clear it, and that will get us over quota at least. Just barely. And you can get chips for the goals, which we should start spending them on something important. Yeah, we'll go for kills by surf, though. And so yeah, there was a fossil pit over there. We totally messed that up. What about the tip here, though? How come we couldn't get that? Okay. Yeah, how come I missed that? That was... Have a chunk in the turf serve. I mean, that objective at least synergizes. Okay. Alright, here at least we'll make it over. We should have gone into Kong here for this. Do I have Elephant, actually? Or are we about to finish round 3? If we're about to finish round 3, I really need to have Elephant in the bag. We do, so why am I not using it? Given that we have the multiplier for storing chunks. Hang on. I'm not paying attention here. Storage group, okay. Okay, here's how we're doing it. We're going to... remember the button binding for even building my skills here. We're going to go trunk room. And we're going to go quick storage. And then we're going to blow up everything here for fossils. Okay, this is looking like an actual build. Spin groove, turf groove. Yeah, we'll continue scaling it. And we'll need to cycle out the chunks so we can get more, I think. But, oh well, I mean, you can also just continue to inhale. Absolutely awful start, but... it means that we can also go for the fossils that we missed last time over here. We finally have the reset incidentally. Yeah, picking up fossils with elephant is much, much better. Chip hoarder would have to go with chip negotiator, maybe. Well, we'll go chip hoarder anyway. I mean, you know, it's still good even if we're not super stacking it. And let's stack storage group, because now we've got thousands on our avoid goals. And then we'll try to tidy up ostrich and snake and all the rest. Anything down below? No. Okay. Break blast over here. Yeah, because every inhale that you do as elephant massively increases what you get for goals. So, if you're doing this, for instance, then you'd want to go straight down for... Oh. That's okay, elephant can actually blow up stuff quickly. However, we're going to run out of things to do quickly with this. Okay, so yeah, I think elephant's the trick here, for sure. Because we get a universal buff that's not combat dependent. So with Egg Groove, I think we just continue going Storage Groove, to be honest. 2 times 80, that's going to be an additional 160%. I mean, the ostrich buffs are kind of nice, but we stay on elephant for the time being. We can really blast everything out in sight as long as we get enough energy to use it another time. I think we'll head towards ostrich here then. But we also just need the turf serve objective, and then now ostrich is all the way over here.
I knew we could do it.
We'll keep going for it, actually. Ostrich is down below somewhat. Oh, defeat Emerald Stompoids. Actually, we'll go turf surf for that one. Although, we kind of need to hit first. Okay. And then we surf. There we go. You know what? No, we're going to go elephant. And then we fall into them. Okay. Good. And then elephant. Inhales again. We'll continue to go harder for the moment. Okay, and then elephant can just naturally surf. Oh, come on. Except, yeah, again, it's really hard to aim this. That's why I never like taking it in the standard game. Okay. See, and then... So you can't even hit one of these. Come on. Then... yeah, I guess we'll just take the standard way. That's okay. That's not much, but... Encore Groove, well... At this point, I mean, we want to be an elephant as much as possible. So we should actually start taking it. Okay. And we should continue blowing up for fossils. Ostrich is still here somewhere. I think it's sonar. And also inhaling. If we can. Just take out everything here. What was that? It's below us? It's below us. And I don't even remember how to get there. Oh, it's the... I remember what this is. This is... Level here. We should be level with it. Where is it? Hang on. Oh, I can't find it. I just don't remember. Oh, yes, because it's this thing. I haven't played this in so long. Okay. We should have actually surfed this one.
Breeze through that one.
Resets after round 6. I don't know if there's a reason why we want Snake necessarily, but we haven't been filling goals nearly quickly enough. Okay. But at least we can grab that. And then we'll continue in Negotiator, but we really do need to go for those goals then, and it's way, way off. But we can surf towards that for the lump, unless there's anything we want this side necessarily. I don't think there is. We can go for fossils first, though. I think I could just vacuum everything here. That's going to be another 100% every time we stack that, which is going to be nice. We want to cap that out as much as we can. And yeah, okay, now the build is starting to take on some personality, given that it's very explicitly elephant oriented. And we just travel by surf to try to hit everything else we can over here. That does mean going for any of these. Elephant, just pick that up from below. And yeah, okay. Let's see. It looks like you can kind of go for an ostrich-based strategy and an elephant-based strategy. And possibly the actual solution is to use those two specifically in combination. But I guess we'll find out. Now, it does make sense at this point to smash everything else we can too. And probably get some punch power just in case. Well, Turf Groove is starting to stack a little bit. This seems like it capped out at 99 though, did it? It would be strange if it did. I don't think it should. But we'll get the Turf Groove just in case, just to see how we're doing. Okay. And then we'll continue chip hoarding. Yeah, we shouldn't be ignoring the ostrich for too long, I think, but we'll go for it. Where was it? No. Here we go. Are we in round 6 already or round 5? I should check. Because that'll determine whether we still have access to Snake at the end of this. Okay. Run 6. Snake is over here. We can just roll towards it. And do the usual roll, jump, roll. Okay. And we'll go lumps down below. Yeah, storage group seems like it caps out at 99, huh? Certainly hope not. I mean, number of times you store a chunk in your trunk. Have we not reloaded that recently? I don't know. Then, yeah, you can't actually depend on that too much then. We need to start introducing some variety. Or maybe it's because we have been inhaling a lot of the same material instead of counting a separate chunk. I'm actually not sure. We might need to diversify what it is we're inhaling, so it actually replaces what we have. We should probably learn how to do the spin eventually. Yeah, good thing we don't have things that are too combat oriented here, because it would get us into a fair bit of trouble. Now it looks like most of the bananas that actually give us skills have been accounted for, except for Break Blast. Smash the Emerald Lumps, Edge of Peel Peak. How are we doing for time? 24. We'll get up there and when it is time to expend the Warp Barrel, which is not yet. Okay, despite a terrible start, we'll at least get the beginner objective and clear the mark for. And Cranky Kong rather trivial, but the million for Lanky seems way, way off of what we're doing right now. Yeah, it totally caps it at 99. I really don't think it gets higher than that. Well, I mean, we should still boost this, but it's still going to give us only 100% per level, so it's less of a priority, I think. That would have been useful to know ahead of time. Oh well. And yeah, we haven't fought anything recently, but we'll take that. Absolutely need to clear goals much more aggressively than we've been doing. Now, what did we say would warp? I guess we'll probably miss out on these ones, but it's possible to build into those with chips if you really wanted. So we'll take the warp here first. Okay. So there's going to be a reset over here, and we'll see what skills we're given. How do we not really have to chunk jump? I guess we never really built in that properly. Apple juice here. Health here. Anything particularly critical? Not really. But we need to go for the goals. That's the short of it.
I knew we could do it.
Chip Negotiator, Emerald Negotiator. Well, the chips are scaling. We haven't really been using them too much. But we can maybe build towards the 500 that you can get for the elephant. Okay. Then what's our goal? Well, first of all, let's capture everything else we can. Emerald Stompways. Right. Take this down. See, a quota at this point is not the issue. It's more that we are nowhere near cashing in what we need for the million mark. Yeah, or for V rank, even. So yeah, for Stompways, we can crash into them, but we kind of need to peel off the tops first. We can go for it. It's just so hard to trigger, though, that it might not be worth it to be too dependent on them. We'll take it, just in case. It's the only combat one that we have, really, so that'd be a necessity. Encore Groove, yeah, well, I should continue turf here. Where are those Stompways anyway? Way off. That's good. We can turf surf towards them and just continue to build up. Then take this trail, perhaps. Go for that other banana. And then we'll totally whiff on this. We can't hit the single thing here. Not that we're even using Kong over here. We absolutely need to get over there for the objective. Let's see. At this point, we should probably port around. Now, notably, we're not getting any barrel buffs, and I assume that we're just not going to get them. How are we doing for time? 34 here. Maybe it does make sense to warp. But also equally just makes sense to surf. And surf in there as elephant if we can. And we totally missed a juice over here. There we go. We can just stay on elephant at this point, do we? Have enough income. Yeah, we haven't really been doing the mental calculation necessarily, but elephant plus surf just generally works out pretty decently, so. Now it makes sense time-wise to just hop this at this point and grab fossils down below. What are we facing down here? Yeah, you kind of have to switch between ostrich and elephant, I think, to make this work. That whenever you're not surfing to go from point to point, you should be flying and dropping bombs. But we'll continue down this path since we committed to it for the time being, and we'll see how far it gets us. Yeah, again, actually clearing all 10 levels is a total non-issue, but doing decently is a different question. I don't know, some of these strategies seem sort of mutually exclusive from each other, though, that, you know, you're only going to be able to use so many bonanzas at the same time. Yeah, we'll go surf. And then what? Of course. Come on. Yeah, kind of need to hit him at point blank to do that properly, and then just grab everything here. Oh, unfortunately, that went way off the map. We gotta be aware of stuff like that. So that gets you over 100k at least. If we can get more combat objectives like that where we use elephant in conjunction with surfing into them, then we might be able to get somewhere with this. Okay. Anyway, let's go for this. Yeah, Cranky will go for. It's in a fairly easy location here, I think. He's actually in this location up there. Well, warps aren't going to get us anything here, because we need to surf over there anyway, so. Yeah, drumbeat over here. Well, let's look at our build first. We should actually build just into more of this. But we also need bonanza uptime. Yeah, it's going to kill most of the chip buff, and I don't really care too much at this point, I think. That's too critical. Just to get the uptime going. Okay. Anyway, but the Surf is going to stack up the buff against Cranky somewhat nicely. We are way overshooting. It's over there. And we can hit some of these on the way, that would be great. Of course, because we can grab some of that. And I'm way off. It's down here, but we go for the fossil anyway. See what we can do. Just stack the ones that we're actually using. And Cranky's over there. Okay. Yeah, 50k per objective. If we mostly chase objectives from this point, we can actually stack up nicely. We're a little late on this. That's our strategy, but... better late than never. Anyway, let's see where the next objective is going to spawn for us. Level lumps. Over here? Yeah, let's just go for it. And we start going 50k per objective, then we just hit lots and lots of objectives, and we should be able to get up to something decent. So yeah, we got off to such a rough start on this, but if we have a very focused build like what we've done here, then that has some possibilities. And we can just move out of the fossil as well. Yeah, the Stompoids really respond well to the elephant strategy. They probably respond well to the ostrich strategy as well, in fact, but... just go for that at this point. We're not necessarily going to do that many combat objectives, but... I think for this one we just warp. This time is of the essence here. Okay. Okay. Then blow this one up again. Yeah, you have to hit them at point blank. With the elephant, it's easy to hit them at point blank because we can just pick up something to surf with at any given time. Now, it is 0.1 by 35.5. That's another 35%. It's not really great, but... yeah, okay, we're starting to get somewhere here. At least way too late in this game, but... it's okay. Okay. And we'll just continue going with this. Smash some Fractonium. Wasn't there a Fracton like right here? Yeah, there we go. That's a quick objective. Good. Alright, we're almost at about 500,000. So I don't think we'll hit 1,000,000, but if we do void goals at a decent clip in round 10, then we can probably get close enough that it will at least give us a clue as to what we should be building. So yeah, again, 1% here by 200. It actually is worthwhile to go chip order instead now at this point. then, well, we'll see. It makes sense to just turf surf until we hear what the next objective is. Buzzoids. Buzzoids, you can't really surf into them, so we'll kill them straight up for the objective in its purest form. Oh. Okay. How come I don't have any chunks as elephant? What happened to all our chunks? Okay. Yeah, charge group, like, none of the elephant skills count as charge though, right? Like, or the other ones, fashion spiky balls, that's easy. In terms of the location, that's easy. We can go for the pit. We can also just warp up here, but it'll burn to warp. It might actually be worth it to burn to warp here because you can get them all in one pool. Either that, or where is the pit? If we fail to do that, isn't it right here? Okay. Okay, good. And then another 300 at this point. And little buzzoids, where are you? Yeah, we're picking up enough at this point that we can just stay on elephant semi-permanently. Then circle with buzzoids if we can. Oh, accept. And collect. More buzzoids. I think for this one, it burned the warp.
Should we go there?
And then some fossils if we can as well. Yeah, there's so many fossils around here, actually. Well, I don't know if it's worthwhile to go fossil necessarily at this point. Yeah, we're very low on time, so we have to just go for it, I think. 20 seconds, I don't think we're going to hit that many objectives at this point. But we hit goals at a faster clip. The build essentially works. We just put it together too slowly and we chased objectives too slowly. But the build essentially is sound. And I think we can actually get this as a second attempt if we don't spend the first few waves just shaking off so much rust. I don't know if it's even necessary to get Competenza first, now that I think about it, because if we just go straight for Elephant, we waste much less time. Because at no point have we even used except to break the concrete getting to Elephant. So it was completely irrelevant to this run. Anyway, none of these except Egg Groove even matter to us at this point, so... Snow Poise Ball will 5 seconds, it's not going to happen, but... Yeah, we can... see what's going on. Oh, this was Hidden Tone, yeah. Okay, so we didn't hit 1 million, but we actually got reasonably close, considering how bad a start that was. That was... not too bad. That should be V rank in this, actually, but... because V rank is if you're 10 times over the cumulative, I believe. Okay. So we were just a few objectives off. If we had a very focused and lean attempt to do exactly what we did, which is Elephant and Turf Groove, I think that actually gets us over the line. because we just needed enough time for about one additional wave worth of void goals that we actually take. And of course, Negotiator is going to be a necessary multiplier for that as well. If we can just do the mental arithmetic for it. So, let me just screenshot this for a moment. So, yeah, going over this, some of this stuff was totally wasted. Now, the thing about Egg Groove is that if we just kind of switch into Ostrich situationally and just get the multiplier down, that actually could make a difference. It's just that under most circumstances, that kind of conflicts with just doing more turf surfing. We could have had more uptime as the elephant as well once we kind of hit our stride to the point where we could constantly reload energy as it. And of course, that also involves spending some chips earlier on things like Bananagy to enhance our uptime. Fossil Radar, I think we still need it. It's a bit of a crutch, but we do need it. Yeah, we wasted so much time in the early waves, but if we just kind of got off to a faster start. Exactly there. Elephant is available right away, and so we just beeline for it. I think we have the strategy down. And we just need to do a second run pretty much immediately. Everything else except the Ostrich stuff was actually a pretty lean and focused build for what we wanted to go for. And indeed, we've already hit all of the objectives other than Lanky Statue. And Chunky Kong is going to be somewhere in DK Island. So that's just our high score so far. Well, we can do better. Let's try to get over 1 million for the high score, even though we filled in so much of that meter. We want to demonstrate that we can do it, so let's try again. Actually, let me think about this. Do we still want mud clothes, given that we're surfing everywhere? Or is there a better choice? Let's go back to DK Island for a moment. And let's consider the clothing. Because we're not really walking in mud at all, as such, if we're mostly turf surfing in it. So I wonder if that makes any kind of difference relative to some of the other clothing that could be more immediately beneficial. But we'll go to the closet and consider that carefully. But I think otherwise we'll probably keep to the same method. We're just not going to get off to that bad a start. Now we know what this challenge is actually giving us. And that we know just how high we can stack each of the individual rewards for void goals as we complete them. So in terms of ties, I think, yeah, this will still be the one that goes in void. Restoring Bananagy as you destroy terrain, though, that might be potentially better, given that we want to have pretty much permanent uptime as Elephant if we can. So if we switch the tie to anything, it would be that. Increase your speed in mud, though. I don't know, it seems so critical. The only thing I would consider is trading this out, Void, and then swapping this one over to the Bananagy return. The other thing, too, is that it extends all of your Bonanza times if we just go specifically for Elephant. That might actually be helpful. Because we know what we're building for, so we'll just do it. Do we want this color? Yeah, we want this color. Let's stick with it. So we're just going to commit to doing Elephant, as we've been doing. And we'll try it that way with just a small adjustment. Okay. Let's get into it. We want to go for a high score over 1,000,000. The next run is clearly, if it adds up cumulatively, which I'm not totally sure about, it's easily going to get us over 1,000,000. But if we have a single high score over 1,000,000, that's ideally what we want to do. We'll try for it. We might even just ignore the banana that gives you Kong Bonanza. It's just way too much of a time sink. It took half of round 1 just to do it. And the only thing we really need for is concrete, which we have other ways to do. We should have other ways to break it. Yeah, it totally adds up cumulatively, so. We didn't know that, actually. Okay. In that case, first things first, we should actually loop to melon juice and banana juice down here, and then we beeline straight for elephant. Okay. Now that we picked up any juice whatsoever. So, yeah, if we're going for that specific build, we're going chips. And we probably did need to grab some of that, but I fell way too far down. Where was I going? We're going for this one here. Okay, and then we'll drop to it. Probably a more efficient way to get to that one, but we'll take it. So it's not in the same order that we had previously. It's not totally deterministic, unless the picks are bound to the banana, in which case that would be the case to go for that bit with the Kong Bonanza, because it gives us a pretty big boost, if you'll recall. It gave us the boost to 3 levels, just by virtue of being difficult, I suppose. So, yeah, because none of this stuff is giving you elephant yet. In fact, we're just going to refresh this one. And go storage. Now, storage does cap out at 99 pretty quickly. Whereas this, the earlier we get it and the earlier we spend time as any bonanza, the better. But I think we have to go for storage. That's what we know we're building for. And we're just going to skip Kong for now, and we'll turf surf over, and we'll make our way over to this whole sequence here if we can. Let's see, because I think there was a fossil here that we could have pushed out rather quickly. Also radar, yes, immediately, I think. It just saves us a lot of potential trouble to not have to worry about navigation. And yeah, we know we'll want surf beats. Okay, that's a leaner start already. And here we go, +3 for storage groove, or 2 additional levels rather. We'll rather obviously take it. And go for this fossil here on the way. And yeah, chip negotiator will stack nicely, but no, we'll continue to boost that as fast as possible. We'll go for that jump shot probably. More fossils along the way though. We do need to get over to quota. We shouldn't be too casual about that. It does mean breaking some things to get us over the line. And expanding those. And then, yeah, with this... we do need to whack this. Oh, come on. And Turf Groove, yeah, we need that immediately because we're doing so much surfing. And even more, yeah. Stack that as quickly as we can. How do I not have the chunk jump upgrade? I guess... yeah. Okay, since we have this sort of up and running, we want Encore Groove so it can start counting as soon as we can. Once we go for Elephant. We never did go downstairs for Zebra. That's okay. We don't care. Okay. Hang on. We really need... not photo mode. We really need... we don't have any chips. Okay. Oh, we don't have stone here. Hang on. This is a problem. Yeah, this is actually a bit of an issue because I didn't account for the fact that we'd be chunk jumping up here rather with the mud being in the way. But if you throw some stone at it, then maybe that works. Let's... okay. Okay, let's just get some more. And then the stone is up there. We can pick up some more of that to whack this, and then go for the most critical piece of the puzzle, which is going to be Elephant. We took too long to do it. We could have ended up with first piece. Now, Emerald Lumps. First objective. Go back towards that. We can. Yeah, we're not over quota yet right now, so we do in fact need to get it. We can go hoping against some of this stuff first, maybe. Okay. Anyway, we can take this too casually here. Yeah, storage groove right here. Now, do we have chips? We don't have any chips for upgrades yet. That's actually a bit of a problem. And yeah, we'll go for that. Okay, we cannot put this off anymore. We have to go for the objective. And I think we should actually burn the warp on it. Because I do not want to lose the slacking off on this objective here. Or for that matter, losing track of elephants. Where are we? There we go. 20 seconds, we have to get it now. Okay, living a little bit dangerously here. We got it. And quota should not be an issue for some time. We'll continue stacking this. Do we have any chips yet? Yes, we do. So now we need chunk room. Or even quick storage. No chunk room. Trunk room, rather. Now, Snake is here, Kong is there. Oh no, that's not Snake, that's Zebra. Right, because you can just dive down for Zebra. You don't actually need to warp there because it's in the entrance area, not the exit area, so to speak. No, we should get it since we want to clear up this area. Anyhow. Okay. Defeat Emerald Buzzoids though. But we already used the barrel this round, so we might not be able to get it right away, but let's Turf Surf to build up some distance on it. Quota at least is not an issue for some time. And yeah, continue on the elephant. We want to maybe cap that out as much as we can. We have a super focused build here. We do want to scale up the kind of basis for the multiplier negotiator, I think. Encore Crew didn't actually end up being that good last time when we built into it. Like the 0.1 is too incremental. But of course we also started building that too late. Okay. Yeah, it is already up to 7.5 here. That's great. Now, let's continue clearing as much as we can on this side. Where's that fossil? There we go. Chip hoarder. Well, we don't have any chips right now, but we'll go Encore for the moment. And yeah, that's... We'll take the things that are relevant. We'll probably go down for... Bit with a zebra. There is the fossil that's on the way down that we want to go for if we can. Can I just blast that? Yeah, there we go. And we'll barrel cannon back up. Okay. And now Turf Surf is going to get us 2 levels there. That's going to be a little more efficient. Oh, we should grab some of that stuff, but... Okay, at this point... See, we need to determine at which point do we start really chasing objectives hard. Well... Very much depends. I think we should continue stacking buffs by turf surfing around the countryside and grabbing fossils. We'll kind of loop our way around there. Although we should watch out for when we have the opportunity to... How are we doing for chips? We have no chips. We actually do need objectives to get more chips, I think. That's the only kind of mitigating factor here. But if we surf way over... then we can chip negotiator. And yeah, negotiator. We'll do it by levels obtained essentially. We've got enough of a surplus over quota at this point so that we should actually be mostly trying to stack buffs, 5 fossils, and everything else. Surf and beat we haven't leveled up nearly enough right now, but we'll get to that once we get some of the combat objectives like the Stompoids up and running. Okay, and then we'll go for the fossil cluster over here. And then negotiator hoarder. Yeah, we'll need more chips to at least buff up the elephant a bit and get more going in that respect. Yeah, that's going to cap out at 99, but at least we are stacking it whenever possible. Oh, we forgot to use the warp. Would it have been helpful here? Well, we'll see. We'll get up here for a moment. Yeah, we have to get that objective soon, but we have apple juice and ostrich available quickly, which is good because we can kind of blast towards it. All right, this one, yeah, is easy as elephant, so really easy as elephant, in fact. Best possible one to take here. Yeah, at some point we should probably go for Egg Groove, but we don't even have Ostrich yet, so let's just stack as much as possible. Like, having a better multiplier on that would have gotten us over the line last time, for sure. Now, what are we doing for chips? We have nothing. Yeah, the fact that you just don't really get many chips in a while has absolutely been relevant to how this one has been played. Anyway, this one is just one where you tap this and then go backwards to get Ostrich. But again, we're so far over quota that building up the multiplier is actually more important at this point. So, you know, we switch gears in one of the middle rounds and just go straight, avoid goals the rest of the way. Yeah, we've got no chips right now for Hoarder, so better to hoard the chips first and then get that up and running. At this point, I think we absolutely have to and get that. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, because every now and then we'll be collecting things on the way. Well, yeah, round 4, so we've already been past one reset. Objectives. That buffs or objective? Buffs, and then we'll warp back over to the objective if we remember. And then just surf into some of this stuff along the way. See, and can actually pick up quite a bit. Although maybe the ground pound at some point would have been a little more helpful. And then here we just continue grabbing what we can if I can find it. Oh yeah, it still is up here. Yeah, we absolutely need to get a range up on that though. The main thing is that we're just down on chips at the moment, which is probably the argument for going objective instead. But picking up a lot of the chip hoarder does help. Let's grab this and then warp. Okay. Oh, there's one right there. 3. Grab this and then we warp. This is cutting it very close. Surf and beat it. Turf surfing. Let's go for this. We'll eventually go for that enemy buff, but given that we're not fighting anybody right now, it's less critical. It's good for sequences like this where you surf into, well, despite balls, of course, but. Okay. Let's just get up here. Then. See, that already gets us up quite a bit. Chips will scale better, but depends on how much combat we're going to actually going to pick up. Let's maybe go down, grab the Break Blast and the Fossil. Okay. I'm totally in the wrong place for this. Yeah, we'll of course go for some turf surfing in a moment, but there's a treasure chest there too that we totally didn't get. We'll grab it using the inhale. Yeah, negotiator. Okay, that was rather nice. Now, let's go for the fossil first if we can. And then another 100% off storage, I guess we should. And then we now just need to turf surf towards something that is our objective. Anything will do. Which means we'll just cross the map, I guess. In fact, if we can do this, that'd be better since we maximize our uptime. Yeah, we might even, do things like the cranky objective in advance at some point just to do that, or even do things like hidden tone in advance. Just because we know they're going to be relevant later. But we can move towards the snake area, perhaps.
I knew we could do it.
And then let's see. We'll continue on this. Back. Okay, now we've got the Stompwood objective. We should still try to surf into them if we can, of course. Even though we're not doing as well with that objective as we normally would be. Same idea as before. We inhale into them and try to turf surf point blank. Oh, come on. Point blank, I said. Okay. Come on. Okay. Make the elephant for this. Then that count. Yeah, that got multiplier. Not as much as the 300s to 500s that we're used to, but that's what we haven't built into it yet. Treasure chest down there. Let's. Oh. Hey, we don't have chunks. We don't have chunks. Okay. Yeah, I guess the chunk making buff is something that we need to build into properly. Anyway, in terms of what we build into at this point, this is getting up to 100, but we are going to spend some of the things in chip hoarder, so it's not going to be an immediate effect just yet. This is another 36% or so. I mean, it'll stack up nicely with time. I actually think we go chip hoarder. So that'll be good in the near term, even though, yeah, we really do need to get quick storage going for sure. And better inhaling. Just stack some of these while they're cheap. And yeah, despite having just taken a chip buff, I actually do think we should spend chips here. We've got enough negotiator buffs that we'll get a lot of that back quickly. Anyway, we'll go for some lumps. Okay. Yeah, and we'll just keep going on elephant.
I knew we could do it.
I think a million will happen this time if we just stay on pace. So it is going to give you another 102 by 3k. That's about another 20%. That's okay. It'll stack up nicely with time, though. I find that we definitely learned over a couple of runs not to underestimate the power of the turf groove, just especially on a big open map like this one. Okay, there we go. Now we're stacking things quickly. Even though we've been at 99 for some time on that. We'll go for the snake banana, even though we don't actually need snake. Okay. Do we want to warp somewhere? We'll find out in just a moment. Yeah, let's just keep going for that. We'll probably cap it out at 20, I would imagine. Emerald Lumps are here. Despite the fact that we're right by some things that we need, we should actually warp while we have it in order to chase the objective and grab it as quickly as possible. That's something that we did not use aggressively enough last time. That is at the end of round 6 though, so we will get the banana reset in terms of the available buffs on the field. That's something that we should try to keep in mind. And then continue to go emerald for that. And then go for this over here. And then try to surf into some stump-boys if we can. Surf and beat's going to be better here, given that we're going straight for stumpoids. And we want to use the method that we've been going for so far. However, instead of warping, we're going to surf towards that and grab everything else we can along the way. Oh yeah, this is the annoying one with the flying banana. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, can we just get up here? I stalled too long on that, but it's okay. 70k per objective. At this point, we just try to mostly go for objectives and everything. Again, just maximize uptime if we can. We're already on wave 7, so we shouldn't stall on this for too long. We really do need to start chasing goals. Now, point 2, this will be an 80% at this point. Yeah, that's looking good, actually. Balance. And yes, we should surf our way over. Okay. We'll just come over here and then not gonna bother with this. No, it takes way too long. Okay. And yeah. Anything on the Vanadium Tone? Not really. Muscles we can go for after we've done the stomp objective. So, same idea as before. Might as well just take one of them at a time. Nope, too far, too far. Okay. Yeah. That double hit really was a problem there. Okay. Oh, come on. Nope, missed it. 40 rather than times 300, unfortunately. Storage groove. Yeah, we'll just get up to 20 this time. But we did fill the objective, and with 3 rounds to go and 300k already, we should be on pace. I've had Cranky Kong. Yeah, that's easy enough. We do want to go for it quickly and face the right direction for it, though. That's going to be over in this location. Okay. Maybe wrap around the fossils on this side first. I'm tempting to just go for this one on the wall first, though. I mean, you know, it's right there. Oh, come on. Hit harder. Got to build punch power or anything like that. Storage groove actually goes beyond 20, which is nice. That's really been the story of this run here. Now, the thing about Turf Groove is that it's going to keep on scaling for us. Look over that. Okay. Okay, and then go for that. Scale up on Negotiator, which multiplies the whole thing. We're down on energy at this point. We have to go away with that. We haven't even been blocking. Actually, you're not even allowed to block, are you, in this event? In terms of spending chips to block out anything. Actually, you're not even allowed to do that. I think I noticed that with the Chip Fever event last month as well. Prioritize Emerald, however meager. And Cranky objective is which way? I keep losing track of this. It's at the end of there. Okay. Yeah, we see him. Oh, there's the... What do you call it? The one with the chips that we never pick up the bus for. Okay, so we basically just need to hit like 6 more goals at this point in the remaining rounds, and we should be fine. Average of maybe 3 goals per round. That would finish it. Let's go for... let me think about this. Yeah, just Chip Hoarder. We don't have immediate expenditures with that. And we don't know what we're doing, we just sail around, surf around until we hit an objective we like. Given that we've popped actually just about all the fossils at this point. I don't even see any fossils unless we... No, that's listing all. Yeah, okay, I guess it's just bananas at this point. This is in the pit, though, which is potentially kind of annoying. But, yeah, this one takes forever. Drumbeat's still kind of available. Spin, jump. Oh, yeah, that's in the back room on the way down. The tunnel down. That's actually not worth it. Yeah, we should just chase goals at this point. But we can surf around while we're being indecisive. Maybe surf towards this in case nothing appears. Get to a neutral position. Here's a goal. Anyway. Emerald lumps. Let's stock up on some things meanwhile. Yeah, surf towards it, and we'll just blow that up. We should have time to spare for the million, actually. That's going to be Turf Groove, obviously. Okay. Need another one. Stump points, that's fine. Where are they? Over there. We'll take them. And we're over 100k per objective at this point, which is what we want to go for. Okay. Okay. We just surf into them at point blank with Elephant. And then... Okay, there's another one. Let's not throw it all the way off. Okay. Yeah, we didn't build nearly as heavily into the surf and beat bonus this time, so it hasn't mattered nearly as much. But everything else is killing nicely. There's going to be another 60%. Yeah, I think the emerald matters more at this point. So we're not going to get that many combat objectives with the time remaining. So, emerald lumps, we'll just start towards it. Yeah, round 9 just started. Again, we just really need to average maybe 3 goals per round. I think we'll do it. As long as there's nothing way out of the way for us. Okay. Smash some Fractonium. Oh yeah, that's right. We had the same one in sequence in a very similar location last time, I think. That was a very easy objective. Okay, this is looking good at this point. And... I mean, this is another 300% at this point if we're not spending a chip, so sure, we'll take it. Okay, what do you got for me? Buzzoids? Okay, fine. It's probably the objective with the least inherent value for us here, since we don't have very many bonuses to work with. And we're just under 1 million at this point, so the next thing we tap will essentially get it. Next goal we tap will get it. Yeah, so actually even just focusing on a single Bonanza is enough to work with here. I remember this objective in much the same position. Okay. Let's build up some balls first. Do a surf, and then we'll just roll around until we hit enough of them. Come on. Anyway, that's over 1 million. And... yeah, the chips are actually coming in nicely at this point too, but we'll go for a high score. Okay. Now... Buzzoid objective, we'll go for that. Do we want to warp? Yes, we do. That'll save time. And we'll get over 1 million with a round to spare, which is great. Okay. Let's see how high we can run it. Okay. Well, let's see the next objective. What is it? More Buzzoids? Yeah, that's fine. We'll just build up some surf since we have lots of time. And yeah, it's nice to just get over the goal and not worry about actually being able to hit it. We absolutely had the right sequence for it this time, despite a little bit of sloppiness along the way, especially with the initial acquisition of the elephant. You know what? We'll just spend 100 to refresh these. We've barely had to re-roll at any point, and it's been kind of nice to do things this way. Anyway, a 0.02, about 800 at this point. That would be like a 0.01 by 16k, which would be about 160%. It's actually a bigger deal at this point than the storage groove, which is interesting. Yeah, because it has outpaced it due to the 100 cap. can. Okay. Okay. Got that. That's nice. Getting up to 1,000% on some of those at this point. Oh. Do we have time to actually finish this? We'll find out. Oh. Come on, just keep missing these. It would be nice to actually hit this. Oh well, we'll just hit it. Yeah, we can't get the plus 800% on that one, but what can you do? And as far as the chip order go, I mean, we can even spend on the super elephant power at this point to transform everything around us to emerald. But of course, I think the chip bonus is actually more worthwhile at this point. Sure. I mean, you get real chips that scale with. Oh, use the barrel cannon. Do we have enough time to do it? Like warp to a barrel cannon and then spend it? I'm gonna try it.
Should we go there?
I don't know if we can actually hit it in time. Oh, missed it. Missed it. That made a difference of about 120k or whatever, but that's okay.
We did it! We did it!
Okay, that went well. 1.5 million. Above expectations. That's what happens when you go in knowing what you're doing. And just having an extremely focused build on exactly what we wanted to do and nothing else. Took a bit of a risky reroll very early on, and also had a bit of awkwardness with picking up the elephant at first, but ultimately that worked. And we'll have the statues. We'll also have a good bit of time to spare on the stream to maybe do a bit of additional progression in the main game. The main game of the DLC, rather. So, we'll be done with that. So, yeah, the Emerald multiplier didn't even get that high. Everything here was just stacking up the global multipliers that are not based on combat, which we often find ourselves longing for in the main game. But here we actually managed to put it together, so... yeah, enemies defeated, goals achieved. Very low numbers for 10 rounds. But we got ahead of the quota by enough early on that we were just able to stack and stack and stack the bonus for void goals such that we needed very few to get over the line. So I think the strategy presented itself pretty clearly once we saw how it was supposed to come together. And that gets our high score way higher. There we go. Well, let's take a look at what we can buy with our chips first, just to collect a couple more statues. Then we'll think about what we want to do for an additional level today, because I think we'll have time to maybe push one thing on one of the medium difficulties, like on 5. We've cleared everything on 4 already, of course. But I discovered it wasn't a good idea to immediately jump to 7, because I learned the hard way on the Lagoon layer that all you do with that is you drag down your average for filling up the point card. That's not really that wise. Also, we're still in the hilltop. We need to go back to DK Island. I should have said back to DK Island. I forget sometimes that it just drops you here if you select Quit Emerald Rush. You stay on the same layer. So let's get back to DK Island and see what we can do. So it has been revealed already on the Japanese edition of the Nintendo News app, I think, that the next event a month from now is going to be on Landfill. Gotta make sense because it looks like it's prioritizing the layers that don't have sublayers for some of the earlier events. I mean, eventually it'll just run out of those and they will have to go for some of the more complex layouts where the routing is significantly complicated by jumping between layers, as we found in places like Lagoon. But for now, Landfill looks like it's next. So we might do a bit of initial research today, maybe push Landfill in 5. Landfill in 4 was something with one shot, so I feel like in some ways we barely even know the layer, given that it didn't really challenge us to a great extent. So we might want to, actually hit some difficulty there and figure out some navigation. So anyways, Squawks can find the goodies. Well, we've got 1183 in chips. Let's just grab what we can. I mean, they're getting expensive at this point, 500 per. So we'll only be able to get 2, really. Smash and Done. And yeah, I don't know how many we're still missing. I haven't really done a proper accounting of a collection, but there's King Crocoid. It seems to fill in most of that pedestal. But yeah, okay, we've already run ourselves out of cash for those, so yeah, the total cost does seem to stack up rather dramatically. Now, of course, we're on the elephant right now. We should switch back out of that. And I don't remember what it was we went for when I did Landfill on 4. It might have actually still been on Mud, but I don't actually recall. Yeah, because... Well, let's see. Let's get Pauline back on just a general Bonanza buff for the moment. And then... I just don't remember, but I think on Landfill it makes a certain amount of sense. It's not mud you're necessarily digging through, but a lot of dirt. And so it makes a certain amount of sense for terrain destruction to feed into an energy uptime. Unless you're going for something like Bonanza, which I think would be a bad idea on that layer, given some of the navigational challenges. So I think actually we'll go dig it there. And maybe we'll switch these over to Void Pants. And maybe that will be the way we do it. Yeah, damage reduction might be nice if we're going for some of the low heart strategies. But we'll go Void Coat Bridges over here. Let's keep the current color for Guava. We might change it back at some point, but we like to rotate around a little bit. And the Splatoon 2 colors right now are looking just fine. Okay, so with the Emerald event done, the Emerald Rush event, I should say, easily out of the way in 2 attempts, we'll fill the rest of the stream by doing Landfill on 5, I think. And we'll see how well we remember it from over a month ago. I probably should scout it in advance, but whatever. We'll learn by doing. So as I've been saying, we have previously cleared everything on 4. Lagoon and Hilltop in 5. I guess maybe it makes a certain amount of sense to, continue going down a list and maybe try Canyon on 5 or something. Because there is a difficulty rating for it, perhaps, that we should be aware of. But maybe doing a little bit of advanced research on Landfill might not be such a bad idea. And, 5 is pretty accessible still, so... What even did we pick up there? Wind up beat? No, that wasn't that. Storage group, yeah, that's right. So yeah, it's unlike the chip event, I think everything we saw actually was a perk that exists here on the perk list. The chip event had a couple of things that were specific to it that do not appear elsewhere in Standard Emerald Rush at all. But we're filling this grid in fairly nicely. We'll worry more about it, though, when we eventually clear some of the trivial difficulties. The trivial ones being anything sub 4, essentially, or even sub 5. And pick up what we can from the rest. Yeah. I'm definitely thinking, okay, do we just kind of go down the list, do Canyon 5 next, or no, we'll research the next one that we need so we get a sense of the layer and, you know, forget everything we learn by the time we have to come back a month from now. So, yeah, previously cleared on 4 pretty easily, but not with a score that would get you enough in 5. So, let's see it in 5. I want to push 7 on everything eventually, but we will not have time to really grind away at that unprepared today. But I think we can probably clear one big objective like this one. And see how we do. Okay. Well, we got an initial fossil over there. Let's just go for it before we even see anything. Now, Meteor Punches was Snake. Clearing Foragers was Snake. Do we even have Snake available? Yes, Snake is actually available relatively quickly if we remember how to get to it, which we would need to dig towards it and tunnel. We need to tunnel from Lower Pit. Absolutely would want to warp there, unless we tunnel down now, just to, because, you know, to get around this layer, you kind of need to break stuff anyway, for sure. And we can hit some of those initial points. Okay, well, if that's the case, let's see what our plan is going to be, because, yeah, the initial thing you can do is kind of connect over here, go for Elephant Lungs. Smashing terrain during glare slow motion effect. These are both for items. We don't necessarily have that much room for Meteor Punch, but I guess as Snake, maybe you can build towards just trying to slow everything. But we don't normally slow when we're smashing terrain, though, necessarily. Either way, this is going to be new territory for us, I think. Let's go Forager. We'll need to grab Snake for that to be useful. Oh, actually, Meteor Punch was right here. We should have just gone Meteor Punch, since, you know, this is actually available. Let's go down, I guess. And then, yeah, just grab bananas that we can. Peekaboo boys are here. Once we buff things up well, Peekaboo boys are actually quite nice. Okay, if we're building towards a Snake Glare build, let's actually get Slow-Mo build and beat, because then we can just have uptime on Glare at any point, really. Banana Sum is always nice when it's early, but I think we want to have a kind of focused idea for what we're doing. Let's see, fossils. Oh, wow. Come on. Oh, we have no punch power here, which is terrible for this layer. We need to get some actual punch power going, because otherwise we just can't beat anything. Anyway. Where's that fossil I was going for? It was right here. We have chips. We don't. Rock Ensemble Bead. Number of different chunk types you have stored. That's really interesting, but we want to go low health. on this layer. We can. I mean, you know, it's something that we can commit to here. It is enemy dependent, though. This is dependent on elephant. Do we even have elephant available? We don't, and so that's not going to kick in for way too long. As we would go Lonely Heart. We just need to remember not to feel hearts. Which means ignoring this one here. Now, if we can go for the Meteor Punch one here, though, the thing is, it's going to take so long to push towards that side. Yeah, once we run out of time, we'll smash some crystal. Oh, that's going to be all the way down, though. Well, we'll get over quota and we'll worry about the objectives later. Perhaps. We want to move towards this one here. We do need chips, though, at some point, because otherwise we just have 0 punch power, and that does not cut it over here. But we could maybe climb it over here and go for the Meteor Punch. I don't remember really how to get there. It's a bit of a difficult spot. Maybe we just have to cut across, but it's going to take forever. I think priority has got to be Snake, because then you start punching the ground a bit. But Meteor Punch gets you so much more that you can do. This is a tricky objective puzzle, though. However, you punch this way, maybe we can first of all take away some Pikapupoids, which does get you over quota. Ah, okay, it's the bomb segment, that's why. Okay. Let's go, Pikapupoids. Good friends that get so much done for us. Fossils we don't want to heart, so we'll not take it, but Snake Forager, yeah, if you glare and then you punch things, then that would be something natural that you can actually accomplish. We were just under where we need for Meteor Punch. This can be a little confusing to get to. But you can see where it is, and I think, though, given... yeah, we'll have to resume progress on this. The bigger priority is to warp down here to get Snake. I have to give up on that one, but wait, open up some of the passage at least. And then we can follow the dig over here, maybe. No, I think we need to go across. Oh, it's in the cage, though. It's in the area with all of the ones I can't remember. The ones that follow you. The Munchoids, I think? Yeah. Okay. Which is going to be a little hazardous, but we'll go for it. Let me think about that for a moment. There is the escort down there as well. For a Fragmentone. None of these are really what we want necessarily. We can't afford a single thing right now. Spin-based skills. I mean, there is Ostrich down below. I mean, maybe it's a good investment to go for Ekru. Okay, you know what? Let's pop this one so we have this as an investment for later. We'll leave the banana on the board in case something spawns on it later on, then it's already available. That's banana. Okay. Storage groove that we saw so much of today. Anyway, we can't really touch this. But we could go around it, and then can I just climb this? Yeah, there we go. This is even climbable. I mean, a snake would... okay, a snake would just jump much better. Oh, come on. can see a thing. Okay. We're not even going to be over quota at this point because I can't see what's going on. We might need to pop those bananas just to be safe. Okay. Yeah, we are in no way near quota. I think we need to smash that banana. We need to warp down to get the crystal gold, probably. At the very least. Now, smash some crystal is something you can do from town. So, from Trashtopia. It's this crystal vein over here. We can get it.
Should we go there?
But I don't know what else we can get in terms of actual emerald. So we might fail this one right away, really. But... yeah, gotta go towards the crystal vein, so... this is getting dangerous. We might have to go Banana Slammer here just because, you know, if we see any banana at all, we have to hit it. Now, if we're going for a snake plus items, Apple Hoarder actually makes a lot of sense. Now, but we might not even make it that far in this build, so... because we've got nothing that we're sitting on right now. Maybe we go snake, slow down. Well, let's get over here. We have a banana that we can hit. Like any banana that we can hit. Barrel cannon would go somewhere. Yeah, we're in big trouble. We need like any banana whatsoever. Let's think about this. I could take a bit of a risk with the barrel cannon maybe. And see if we smash through something. I just don't remember this map well enough. This would pop you up. That would burn a lot of time though. There is the ostrich down here. Wait. There's a treasure chest down here. Oh, okay. Treasure chest, save us. Save us. That treasure chest saved us. Okay, good. That was so close. Oh, ostrich is at the end of the crystal passage. That's why. Okay. That was frighteningly close. However, now we glare a snake, and now we start breaking terrain, and then we actually start to try to take advantage of the build that we made. I don't know if this makes any sense. Yeah. Okay. We need to settle into something functional here. Feet in midair. Some sense snake sometimes. Oh, we got a fossil too. Okay. Okay. Now we can take Snake back to where you can get Meteor Punch, so we don't need to spend chips on it necessarily. I don't know if we want to burn an objective on it necessarily, or a warp on that necessarily, but... yeah. Dive Punch. I don't know if Dive Punch actually counts as the same thing as stomping with a snake. I think it actually might not, from experience. Zebra, I really don't foresee being that useful here, but we kind of need the banana for it. And the perk. So maybe we go for that anyway. Depending on how we get through here, through this wall. Peekaboo point, and that's good, for sure. Yeah, given how many peekaboo points are on this map, we absolutely want that, I think. Now, if you go here, then we can go for the lump goal. Then what can we do from there? We can maybe jump up and have a second try to Meteor Punch. Bit risky. But we're so far out of position right now, I think we kind of have to.
Should we go there?
Very difficult map, actually. But, oop. Oh, peekaboo boys, great. There we go. That's what we want. Okay. In fact, we should remember to glare. We'll get a much bigger bonus. Much bigger bonus, in fact. Almost forgotten to do that. That almost salvages our quota. However, the next objective... Oh, Emerald Lump, we totally overshot that. That's okay, we can move over to where we wanted to Meteor Punch, maybe. Okay. We're under quota. Hang on. Here we go. This should get us over. Just barely. We're really kind of hanging on by the skin of our teeth over here. Now, Bare Knuckle... I feel like this will be expended quickly against Peekaboo Boys. On the other hand, we need all that we can get. We currently don't have something like a Buzzoid objective, which is what you would need Fastball for. I'm gonna go Bare Knuckle. We're gonna spend it pretty much immediately on Peekaboo Boys, but... Okay, there we go. But some of them we don't need to get by punching, we can get by stomping or whatever. That's the snake. Okay. Okay. This will not really be quite enough to work with though. Like, maybe if you slow again, and then, yeah, that actually works surprisingly well. Okay, then we just fight Peekaboo-toids while we have glare. We want glare duration, actually. Sure. Just try to keep it up as long as we can, so we don't have to recharge it that often. We'll even get through quota just by doing this. Surprisingly. Okay. Okay. This was a surprisingly functional idea. We are absolutely not on pace, though. I mean, you know, we need to do a lot better here. We need more perks. imagine we did this with a much better Peekaboo Point perk. Okay. But we can do a ton of tunneling here. That's the important thing. Now, are you just going to fight Peekaboo Boys all day instead of stacking buffs? Maybe we will. Surprisingly functional idea. Okay. We don't exactly know much about the Peekaboo Boy spawning logic, but we do know that the snake has, at this point, broken everything here, and we'll be able to go over to the goal if we really wanted it, but, you know, does the goal even matter too much to us at that point? Well, probably should. I mean, yeah, we want the next objective refresh, I think. We want it pretty soon. Okay, and then... Oh, actually, I'm not even over quota, so never mind. We do need to shape up here quickly, yeah. Okay. No, not enough. Well, bit of an experimental build, I guess. We have to learn this the hard way. Yeah, not on pace. We just didn't have any fossil or banana buffs going on at all, and so...
Maybe we took it a little too easy.
I think we did take it a little too easy. Oh well. Couldn't really get anything started there.
No, we can't.
And unfortunately, that's going to drag our average pretty far down. Despite 311 enemies defeated. Yeah, too bad, because our average had been doing pretty well for a while, but let's try this again. The routing was a big issue that time. But we should learn as much as possible about how to navigate Landfill. I mean, Peekaboo Boys kind of carried me the last time as well when we one-shot it.
Ready.
But we need to learn a lot more about routing.
We gotta find them.
Okay, so what do we got? Elephant up top? I think we go elephant right away. Elephant is very useful in this map potentially, and so now, of course, we could potentially always have a return barrel, in which case we should go down. Where am I? No, we're all the way in the middle there, so... Do we burn the warp? I'll grab elephant right away. Forager. Well, we'll go elephant right now. And let's see. I think, yeah, rather than navigate, we will go up top and take advantage of the fact that elephant is up top, and we'll dig it down. And that should be much more helpful. So, elephant is going to be available right here. Then we can dig down to ostrich. Staring down. Yeah, this would have been very helpful in that last one, given how much we were trying to use snake glare. But this time around, well, snake did spawn. It's down here, but... we will go for this first. And then head down to ostrich, probably. Now, where are we? Okay, still on this layer, okay. We need to get punch power going relatively soon
Bonanza time!
when we have the chips to do it. We absolutely want the second barrel for this. Although Storage Groove is quite a nice idea, given that we just learned from the event just how powerful it can be when you stack it and get Elephant up and running immediately. Even if it does only stack to 100 first. Barrel first. That's got to happen first. Otherwise we don't have enough movement back and forth around the map. Now at this point, yeah, we just want to do it as much of the initial routing as we can. We also have a barrel available now, which means that we can use it. We got 72 seconds remaining, so we shouldn't use it yet. We do want to just dig anyway and just make sure we have the map open, which we didn't do nearly enough of last time. Okay. Now, at this point, yeah, we'll go Encore even though we haven't had any uptime yet, because too many circumstances where we'll want Elephant up and running. None of these are really great for us at this point. We want to risk going under quota. I mean, Ostrich is available, so technically if you break terrain as Ostrich, but most of the time we'll be breaking terrain as Elephant, right? So, but maybe we shouldn't prejudge that. Maybe we should pick it up for Ostrich, in case that is what ends up getting us out of trouble. Right now, nothing synergizes with anything, really. So I think we'll go Forager. I mean, you know, we can't overcommit to Elephant before we really know how this build is going to go. Let's see what the goal is before we dig too far down. Smash some stone. I mean, let's not worry too much about it. Let's just go as Elephant and spray some stone like that and pick it up quickly. Yeah, we're going to go for terrain smashing, so it is going to be something like that. Now, lumps are available right down here. We should move towards that. It's been tunneling down here, down, and then down. We have a barrel available as well. But I don't think we should necessarily burn it yet. We need to do a bit more here. And then... oh, we got PvP points going. Okay. Then we're just gonna go here. We'll just let him do his job. Once activated, we'll go for the other objective. Okay, not a great start so far, but at least we don't feel totally lost with this build the way we did with the last one. And we're early enough that we will want Banana Slammer. Okay.
I knew we could do it.
Melon Treasure? I mean, if we're going for treasure, then we want to do that. And go for the elephant strategy if we can. More bananas will be available down below. Let's see what the next objective is first. And then we can also punch a little bit as Ostrich here. Let's see if we can get the Voyager bonus, but smash the Emerald Lumps into Sinkhole. Yeah, that's a warp moment for sure. And we'll head back up. Okay. Absolutely, we got it. With the warp. There is a barrel that's available over there. Rock Ensemble, yes, that's based on defeats, but... Yeah, and... Well, I don't know. That's kind of dependent on storing some things as elephants. However, it's just a flat bonus. That's going to work quite nicely. If you have anything stored as elephant, you're going to get minimum 150. So, you know, makes a great deal of sense. Use barrel cannon. Barrel cannon's right here, so let's do it. Very convenient.
I knew we could do it.
Smashing terrain with full energy. Maybe so. Ship Thief, yes, because of Pika Boopoids. Yes. Because that's actually how we managed to get through it. Also, look at the spawning locations that we've been given here. That's been exceptionally fortunate. Anyway, we want to pick up what we can in terms of chunks here. We also really need punch power. Like, we can't get by without it. And then, based on the chunk types, we can get some decent defeat bonuses on the Stompoids, perhaps. Yeah, not very good yet, but it's very early stages. Okay, this is at least kind of a playable run so far, unlike the last one. And we'll continue going Elephant Forager, obviously. More Stompoids, where are they? Yeah, we've had a really fortunate run of objective locations. Now, given that we're here, and given that this is round 2, about to be round 3, it's 14 seconds left, we actually should go for the warp. Just to try to clear that immediately and grab some chips. Yes, we should actually take it. I was thinking maybe hitting one more banana or something first, but no, let's not mess around. Let's... Okay. Okay. This is looking playable, but the build hasn't really taken off yet, so we'll need to be careful here. Treasure Apple Hunter. This is on the assumption that we eventually get one of the massive bonuses for apples or melons. Or the kind of apple overflow bonus for that one. This elephant at least is easier to point at things and... Okay, Buzzoids are all the way up here. Yeah, go with barrel cannon. Top, and just open the passage properly. Okay. Then let's grab what we can. I want to go fastball for this kind of thing eventually, given that Elephant synergizes very well with that. And yes, Apple Hoarder is what we want, because that will go in conjunction with what we've been doing. We want to continue building elephants, for sure. We'll just spray everything we can until we understand where some monks are going to be. Not getting any chests off of it, but oh well. Where is the objective? It's down here. Awkward location. But if we go down here and go down, that might be a little more playable. I think that has to be there. And we just go down. Not great, positionally speaking, but if we do still have both barrel cannons available, I think we have to use them.
Should we go there?
Yeah, we kind of have to do this one. Okay. And then let's see what this one gets me. Yeah, we can see where the objective is. Down below, in fact. What's Munchoid's about, but we don't care too much, I think. Oh. And then there was some treasure for the apple juice. Do we have more capacity for apple juice? We will need to get that eventually.
I knew we could do it.
Munchoid Demolisher, yes, because Munchoids are right here. Where are they? I thought they were right here. Roll the squads, yeah. Okay. Okay. Eat the good boys, great, great. We get tons of chips off of them. Now we need to see where the objective is here. All the way back up top. Yeah, we should have taken orb for that, but do we want to do that now, or do we want to go for Kong Bonanza first? Or, well, I mean, yeah, we've got a couple of opportunities here to maybe take out what we can. And drop. Yeah, we should take out what we can first. Just to get the low-hanging fruit in a very literal sense. Mustard Forger, not what we've been doing it, but we'll go apples in case we get the apple collection buff. And also because we're low on hearts. We'll grab the fossil here too. Hang time, that's if you do the jump shot. I actually might reroll this one. I mean, hang time's good, it's just that we can't always control it necessarily. Let's just take it for now. Yeah. Oh, also, we need to raise camp on apples. Remember that. And then, yeah, eventually we'll go for balloons as well. It's on the assumption that we're going to collect lots of treasure, which may or may not be a safe assumption. We don't have the melt bonus yet, but yeah, we'll go for that. Okay, now we should go for the roller squad objective soon, I think. Even if we are over quota at the moment, we should actually go for banana G first. Okay, that's why. And then grab some fossils. More elephants. Banana G is this way. Yep, let's stay on it. And then we're able to go up for the objective. We should warp now so we know what to warp to.
Should we go there?
Warp away after the objective. Yeah, we should remember to actually jump towards those. If we can, there's more apple juice. Glitzoid, if we remembered where the glitzoid was, we would take that, but we'll go for balloon since we are building towards the balloon buff anyway. And then objective down here, we will work immediately, I'm pretty sure. Make more sense to go gong here. I think it does. I just don't remember really what the layout is like.
Should we go there?
To get over to that side location. It's over here. Okay. Yeah, we just bust everything. We're gonna have scaling problems soon, but if we start getting treasure and really start working towards the objective here. Whoops, come on. I'm just on turf surf, no wonder. Batter up. Okay, we have to remember to actually swing at them. Yeah, we should take that. Have to remember to actually use it though. And well, we'll build for flexibility. And yeah, we're capped for apples at this point, so we actually do want to raise the cap further in case we get... We're going there, smash the emerald lumps, lower pits. We pretty much have to warp towards it. That's too much of a pain to get to. Otherwise. I think. Okay. Yeah, we got Peekaboo boys. We're gonna fight them. Fossil radar would be great. Anyway. And look at that, we got some treasure going finally. Balloons and more Peekaboo boys, great. Then we can really start fighting. Balloons, great. Yeah, elephant just demolishes Peekaboo boys, which is great. And it's working out very nicely all of a sudden. Mission Fractonium, we'll get to that. We can go for fossils everywhere first. If we have punch power, we should go for it. And also the inhaling buff for distance. And healthy heart. I mean, you know, we pick up enough apples that would be good, but at the moment I think we'll actually go gold gem. Even if it is enemy dependent. Okay, fossil in the upper location. Maybe we can go for it. We should have actually maybe considered using snake here. But the elephant can spray it too far. What even do we have for current objective of Fractonium? Yeah, we should just do that. And We'll go Emerald Negotiator because that'll scale perhaps. And Bare Knuckle because we won't always remember to go batter up. And then at this point, well, let's smash the Draconian. Let's just do it.
I knew we could do it.
Okay, at this point, none of these will be helpful for us here. We should actually start blocking as well. Dive Punch, well, I mean, I don't know if the Elephant dive counts as a Dive Punch, but we'll start blocking some of the extraneous things that we're not actually going to use. Let's refresh. And then we can get into something a little more specific here. Okay, barely overquota right now, so that's not great. We want to be more rounds ahead than that. Let's go for that fossil over there, whatever it is. Where was that? Up there. Bonanza is not going to work at this point. Go Millen. Then all the way up top since we have the warps. Oh, forgot the treasure there that we just saw the outline of. Maybe we can go turf surf against some of this stuff. Yeah, well, we're getting lots of apples off this. We should go for that. If I have a little elevator, I think we just need to go straight back down for that. How much time do we have? 60 seconds on this round. I think we have to go back to town. Unless we have something specific that we want to go for with the fossil hunting, which I don't think we do. I think we at least work our way back to town after grabbing some fossils with our current quota advantage. Let's try to map this out. Come over here, maybe go over here, grab the fossils, work down. Or yeah, it's not easy to determine a good natural location for this because we might be way out of position for whatever comes after elevator since we've cleared much of the lower level at the moment. It's not a huge bonus right now, so if we're over quota, maybe we should prioritize the fossil clearance. But if you take elevator and then find the location for bursting through the middle, which is kind of right at the bottom here, I think. Then that could be doable. Yeah, because then we go Warp Gong. And then we barrel back up. Yeah, okay, let's do it. And we can go Balloon still. Perk Champ is looking nice as well at this point. It's about, what, 200%? Or, yeah, something similar. But if we go Balloon Hoarding, that's obviously huge, since we're not taking any deaths from falling anywhere. But we do need to scale with treasure chests. This is dependent on defeating enemies. I think we actually need to go Treasure Hunter just so we can collect a little bit of everything. And then defeat the Emerald Rolliscoids. Well, it's going to be up here. We do need to go up the barrel cannon that we just totally missed. You know what? Let's just jump over Snake. We are underusing Snake as a movement tool sometimes, I think. Look at it, you see? We've got melons, we've got everything up here. Okay. And we'll go for that fossil, whatever it was. There we go. Balloon Hoarder bonus. Oh, Chip Thief. Oh, we should have gone Chip Thief against all of these Peekaboo boys, actually, but that's okay. That's right, we'll just vacuum up everything we can. And that's why we go for the inhaling bonus here when we can. So we don't have to take a breather. Okay, this is working out nicely here. This little location right here. We're just grabbing everything we can. Still barely over quota though. We should be doing a lot better if we can. So we just kind of spray all around us indiscriminately, and we don't really need to aim. Also, oh yeah, we're way over for apple juice at this point. We actually need to increase that cap. And increase that cap again. Are we at cap for melon? Yeah, we are actually. We need to increase that too. Even though we don't have the melon bonus yet, technically. Oh, there's the Rolliscoid objective. Nice to actually hit the objective for once. Okay, let's actually get the batter bonus as well, which was, oddly enough, not as much as whatever bonus we collected prior to that. Now, apple juice cans are practically at cap at this point, so we should just go for treasure trove. Because we're so close to cap with apple juice, we don't actually need to increase the chance of receiving it at this point. Where are our elevators? Let's have another one again. And then gold champ, another 8x16. That's looking nice. Balloon obviously is quite heavily buffed at this point as well. I mean, speaking of which, balloons, yeah. Rolliscoids right there, great, convenient location. Okay. Actually, don't know which combat bonus is best at this point against him. Three more. Hang on, where's the last one? We'll just spray and see what we can see. Right there. Okay. Knocked down a little too much here, I think. Okay. Yeah, there's the additional apple juice. Where's the remaining Rolliscoid? It's right here, okay. Took too long of that. Okay, we're still a little worried about some of the scaling problems that are going to hit us later on, I think, at this point. Where is it? I don't see it. On top? Oh, it might be there. I honestly don't see it. Like, where'd it go? Okay. Okay, there we go. That took too long. Chip Thief, yes, because again, Peekaboo Blades, so... Absolutely the key to this layer. Smash some dirt, yeah, that'll be quick. As Elephant, that'll be very, very quick. Balloon bonus is looking pretty good at this point. Chip bonus is looking good too, but no, balloon bonus is looking a lot better. We'll just continue to spray everything around us. We didn't take the Buzzoid bonus, and look at that. We now need to fight some Buzzoids. Right here, though, on the bottom layer, so that's simple enough. Number of extra hearts, yes, because we've been picking up tons of stuff like that, so. Barrel cannon, it's right here. Where we're going with it, who knows, but we have fossils in the middle section that we still haven't done much of. Apple Hoarder bonus is looking great at this point, 250 by 5. Melon Hoarder, well, so 350 by 1 Apple Hoarder because we have the apples. But at least Melon Hoarder is spawning in some fashion, which is kind of important. We have so many fossils that we haven't even obtained yet because we haven't been through the middle section. And at the moment, though, the void goal is what is more important. So let's raise Melon Cap. Let's raise Banana G as well, actually. Just so we can have maximal uptime as elephants. Not that we're ever off elephant at any point. The way that we built this now. Oh, here's the... whatever you call it. The one that drops chips all over the place. Anyway, perks are starting to stack nicely. Happy Heart. Well, we're not really raising the heart cap at this point, but Melon Hoarder, there you are. That's looking good at this point. And then we'll beat this thing up for chips. Then barrel cannon should be fairly nearby. Oh, except we missed everything. You know what? Let's just warp to a location with reasonable number of fossils if we can, and then we'll hit a barrel cannon immediately. Ideally one that gets us through the middle. I just don't remember where it is. You go down to shaft. Shaft opens this way here.
Should we go there?
It should be here. Up above us a bit. Oh, except I blew up everything around here and we have no terrain to walk on. Okay, slightly ahead of pace, still not comfortably, but maybe we pick up more fossils for perks then. Here's something that we can do. We need a barrel cannon objective though, so let's go snake so we can actually jump. And look at how many apples we're getting off of this actually. Let's spray this down first. And we get the short range barrel cannon over there, that's still sufficient perhaps. Okay, we do need to get into some combat though in order to use some of these bonuses. And then here we are, finally. And look at that Melon Hoarder doubling that. The Glitzoid, well, we just punched it, but that's okay. We definitely want Melon Hoarder for that. And we'll be able to get all the fossils here in the central section. We are going to reroll this one, and I should start blocking a bit as well. Now, a barrel is looking nice because we want to chase objectives for combat at this point, just to take advantage of all the bonuses that we have. Chip Hoarder's good too, obviously, but I think we actually want barrels. We've been underusing it, if anything. Peekaboo Demolisher, yes, I think so. Even if we're going for a treasure strategy. And Perk Champ, let's do it. Okay, turf serve. Yeah, we'll just get to a nice open location first. I mean, elephant has plenty of room to do it. And we'll see. We don't really have a specific objective or destination that we're going for here, which is usually how I'd prefer to play the turf serve, but we only have 70 meters remaining as well, so we just grab that quickly.
We can do it.
Yeah, not very many emeralds coming out of just filling in the void goals, but we're trying to reroll goals as much as possible to get combat. That's what we want. We have a good number of chips for blocking at this point as well, so we can really go for something that's a bit more specific. Now, this is good at this point. All this time we have not built storage groove, and we really needed it. We can get up to that massive bonus on it. Also, central shaft over here, we missed a bunch of stuff. When it comes to fossils, we can drop back down. On the other hand, we have barrels at this point. Yeah, we have barrels, so obviously we go sinkhole. Yeah, we need combat, so where's my combat? There we go. Okay. Yeah, actually we still had, what was it? The temporary brawling buff. That's why we got so much income off these all of a sudden. Whatever that was called. We need better collecting. This has been a little bit short range for my purposes. Okay, stabilizing a bit here. Not really in the clear yet necessarily, but we're stabilizing. We really need fastball. Typhoon Titan, I mean, yeah, we're staying on Elephant the whole time, so makes a great deal of sense. Although Cheap Thief is obviously amazing on this kind of map, especially. More apple juice we don't need. And then Smashing Lumps middle pit. Yes, we're gonna warp.
Should we go there?
3 barrels will look like they're kind of the sweet spot here. Okay. Look at that. Pop all of these guys. And then okay, now we don't want to lose so much terrain here because I do need to actually hit the objective. And that's what Snake is for. Snake is very useful in this layer in ways that we've been severely underrating. I mean, we can take the dive punch, but again, I don't know if with Elephant that actually counts. Oh yeah, it counts. This seems so. Like the one that was the target point gave us a massive bonus. That was multiplicative. The looks of it. I guess it stacks well with the bonus for hitting things from above as well. So look at that, Peekaboo Poids are suddenly winning this for me. We're taking a lot of parts damage, but we have so much juice it doesn't matter. Okay. I took so much damage there, and it actually just did not matter. Because we can spray down everybody at this point, and then that might by itself just get us to win. We should go back for more. Look at that, we'll even get more apple juice at the end of it. Lots more apple juice at the end of it. Defeat Rolliscoids. It is going to be at the Neck Reach Smokestack exit. That's going to be here. We should warp while we have a chance.
Should we go there?
And now we're at a decent safety margin that will get us through at least a few waves. Okay. Let's not lose track of where the roll squads actually are, like we did previously when we rolled one into the middle of nowhere. Hardy Groove is looking pretty good. But since we're fighting everything as Elephant, we'll go Typhoon Titan still. Smash them all the lumps. We'll get there. Let's take a look at the map to see where we're going in a moment once we've cleared the treasure. Yeah, we really need to buff collecting, actually. Oh, we're almost at the 500. But we still need more collecting. We'll go for that elephant's power, I think. It makes too much sense. Because with 15 rounds, we actually get to use it. Which, we get more chips going. More enemy defeats. Now, again, we have more barrels to work with than we need, really. The mesh room. Oh, yeah, that is a little out of the way. That's okay, we'll go here. And we'll work towards it without blowing up too much. Ah, no, Peekaboo Boys, we're going to blow up too much. Yeah, the thing is, because we're above the Peekaboo Boys, we get a massive bonus for spraying them from above. And so, that is actually absolutely huge. And that is, in fact, going to give me what I need, which is elephant bonus. We'll even afford lungs and elephant bonus. And now we're in business. I don't even understand what's going on anymore. We're just turning everything into emerald. Okay. We need a Boolean bonus off of this, actually, if we can. We don't need Spin Slam. We never take this. And you know what? We'll grab that just for more chips to build up again. Yeah, it's just emerald everywhere at this point. And then we actually want to take a warp back up. So we can hit the objective, which we totally lost track of because we blew up all the ground.
Should we go there?
Oh, more Peekaboo Boys. Let's, sure, let's fight him again. We'll just fight him again. Okay, looking like we've actually kind of stabilized at this point. Especially with the elephant power available here, so... we might want to actually, at some point, go for the objective, unless we have a chance to re-roll it, but... we blew up maybe even a little too much territory here to even properly make it over. Feels like it's a problem that Snake can solve, actually. Oh, there's something. There's a banana. I totally missed. Yeah, at this point we just spray everything as elephant and turn everything into emerald. Okay. Oh, come on. I can't even jump up to this thing at this point. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, except it doesn't even go anywhere because we've broken everything. So about this void goal, I mean, we unfortunately blew up all the ground around the checkpoint, so I don't even know how we get there. Maybe Ostrich might be the only way, or we climb. Yeah, we might even have to re-roll the goal because we broke too much stuff. I think that actually has to be the case. We have to re-roll it. Whoops. Okay, we missed this banana up here too, but maybe Snake can get us back up there, or... Actually, no, let's go back here.
Should we go there?
We have warps. We can do it. Now, actually getting across here at this point, though, is maybe a little tricky. Then, now we break our way over the objective. There we go. That was solvable. Nothing a little ostrich can't fix. Munchwood demolishers. Yeah, munchwoods are around here somewhere. I don't think they're really that consequential at this point, but, you know, more things to defeat. Yeah, hang time is actually pretty good if you're spraying downwards. Everything looks good now because we're at a point where we can actually win. Do we want to carve our way down and then go down the sinkhole? We should just warp down.
Should we go there?
Okay.
You got it.
Okay. Okay, and then well, we're round ahead at this point. Can't be complacent, but we're in pretty reasonable shape. Okay. And then one more to go. Oh, lost the elephant. That's okay. And, well, we actually don't have a skill champ at all, interestingly enough. But I think we actually go for Forager, given that we're spraying down everything. Beat the Emerald Roller Scores where? I guess we'll find out. Let's look at the map. We have 3 warps. They're over here by the tunnel. Let's go.
Go there?
And yeah, we'll just play Luigi's Mansion and we'll need to snake our way up actually. We're too far down. Okay. That's okay. We're not really afraid given that we're stocked up on RPGs. The whole room is ours for the taking. Treasure trove, emerald treasure. I mean, all of these look like they're going to be helpful. But we know we're getting chests, so. Emerald buzzoids, where are we? Sinkhole. Okay, all the way back down.
Go there?
And, well, now we get Buzzoid Demolisher, apparently. But, no, we're doing well on Apple Hoarder, so we'll stick with it and smash the Emerald we lost. What are we talking about? We will want to use a warp since we have it available. Right here.
Should we go there? I knew we could do it.
A little bit late for Banana Slammer. We'll go low down beat, actually, just because it seems to work really well when spraying damage against the Beakaboo parts when we find them. Okay, over the line for the next quota. We still need to work a little bit to get over the bar for 15 probably, but couple of objectives, a couple of fights. She did a job, a lot of spraying. And yeah, all the way up top, we'll do it.
Should we go there?
Okay, nice big objective. Really need a fastball with elephant, but that's okay. Spray that one down as well when we can. Let's not make too many holes in the floor. Okay. Explosive. Remember to do the jump shot. Like this. Like you see, you get such a big percentage bonus, 500-ish instead of 100-ish. It's way better. If I have a Prospector Monkey, that's all the way back down in town, I think. Should be, but let's get some treasure on the way down first. We still see treasure, we'll get it. And more treasure. We're not running out of treasure, so. But, given that we have warp available, let's go back to
Should we go there?
the warp gong.
Should we go there?
Prospector Monkey should be somewhere. Usually hanging around towns. Okay, we're over the line for 15, so we can kind of mess around, but just enjoy the music. And figure out where the monkeys are. We would have thought they're right here in town, but I guess we blew everything up, so it's a little hard to see. Let's get up here. Yeah, where did we all go, really? We might just re-roll the objective if we can figure it out quickly. Or just continue spraying the whole level. Absorbing it. Yeah, because here's a town, I mean, we're here somewhere. I just don't recognize anything because we blew up all the ground. Because they're by one of the barrel cannon locations, I think. But I just cannot see anymore. This is such a mess. Yeah, can't even jump up like I said. Well, we'll probably just try to hit a fossil or something to go up the objective. I honestly can't see where the monkeys are. I actually think they were in one of the middle layers, perhaps. We should try that instead. Go to one of the middle layers. Like, I don't remember if they were there. Digging the way down, but I thought they were in town, like everybody's usually in town. But that's okay, we're over the line. We actually barely accomplished anything in round 15 simply because we could not find that Prospector Monkey in the mess that we made. So... Oh, found a little Peekaboopoid nest at the very end there, unfortunately. Barely got a chance to touch it.
Yes! Spectacular!
But the important thing is that this was a win. Again, we'll see on the graph that we clearly sagged in round 15.
Fantastic! You did great!
Yeah, look at that. Just a steady increase in round 15. We just taper off completely and get nothing done. Oh well. But the important thing is that we were in a secure position even going into 15, and so that's maybe nothing to be too fussy about. We'll even afford one more statue on DK Island for all the work that we put in. So yeah, that ended up going well once we just elected to load up an elephant right from the start. The first thing we got was just elephants right at the top. And then once we started finding the right kinds of bonuses come together for apple and melon, and when we hit some of the peekaboo point zones pretty heavily, then we were in good shape. I mean, look at how much balloon got stacked, for instance. So all of this apple, melon, balloon, that just made the whole run. That's what you need sometimes. And we've found this elephant strategy to be very applicable to all kinds of places. For Landfill, it seems to be a particularly good fit. And yeah, having the third barrel, even though often we were only using maybe 2 round, was definitely an extra point of security. So, pretty happy with that. And smelting green. Oh, that's one that we actually had seen in the first chip event. So maybe the chip event did show us things that we had potentially found in the main game, or were going to find in the main game. Because I thought some of the ones in the Chip Fever events were just kind of made for the event, because some of them seemed very exclusive to it. But smelting green I did not expect. Because that was absolutely what the previous monthly event was all about. It was about cashing in smelting green at exactly the right time with a massive chip hoard. So, okay, despite the last round dragging down our average, we did pretty well for ourselves. Let's go back to DK Island. Ordinarily, we run the stream quite a bit longer. I generally like to run about 4 hours plus, but it might not be very practical for today's purposes as much as I want to push on. Because it would be nice to maybe, you know, do another level 5 run somewhere in here. Maybe proceed to Canyon or something, but that takes a little bit of preparation and mapping out just because it's been such a long time since we looked at it. And so, as much as we're getting to the point where we can usually do definitely 4 in the first try and 5 within the first 1 or 2 tries, we've got a little bit of research coming before we get all of that together. I don't even know where Lanky and Chunky showed up. Maybe it was over in the central area. We will, of course, buy 1 more figure as we can afford it. Possibly we can even afford 2 if they still cost 500. But we'll, for the time being, probably just run a short session today instead and cut it off pretty soon. So let's grab what statues we can. Like I've been saying, I don't know how far off we are from finishing the standard statue collection, but this will continue. Oh, find goodies. Tip of 500. Yep, that's another one. And that's a Buzzoid. I'm so accustomed to them looking green just because most of our time dealing with Buzzoids has been an Emerald Rush. Okay, but that looks like a pretty good place to be for this stream. It would be nice to figure out once again. I mean, I guess I could look at it in the video footage, but figure out where Lanky and Chunky even wound up here, since I totally wasn't paying attention. can surf around the island a bit and see. We haven't really taken the time to, you know, stop and admire some of the statue collections as is. It's partly why we just haven't really navigated the island properly to see where everything's located. It might be in a central area in the caves. Maybe. We'll take a look. Yeah, this is where all of the different fractone types are, and then you got the Bonanza elders, or Bonanza figures rather, in the central section up there. All of the Bonanza elders, in fact. We really collect that many. I guess I wasn't really paying attention when we were often just cashing in rewards one after another. They might be higher up in the next level, actually, but... Well, you know what? Let's figure this out. Then let's go layer by layer here and explore a little bit. See where everybody is. Because I certainly don't know. Well, here's On Guard. Because we're back home. And there are a lot of the bosses down in that area. Well, no, a lot of the standard enemies. Bosses are a little further over. Let's explore a bit. Yeah, a lot of the standard Bonanza enemy set. Floats around here. Or two after that. Bosses are over here. Still love a lot of these designs, especially in Flaminate. Flaminate's just really stunning. What a piece of work in all the best ways. Yeah, you got other islands that are kind of hanging around too. We might as well take a look at the map here and see if there's anything conspicuous that we haven't really looked at. I mean, there's the area above. Area below, and all kinds of shrines and nooks and crannies we didn't probably get a measure of. There is, of course, the ship over there. And over there. Well, we'll take a look. Where it was reported that the next event will be in Landfill, I think it's also been indicated that the next set of statues for events actually is going to be from Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, which I think will be very exciting to see, because that game was kind of the origin point for the modern Mario team, which is also the DK Bonanza team. Like, that is a very clear lineage from Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, which really is just one of the most idiosyncratic Nintendo platformers of them all, and something that deserves quite a lot more recognition and respect. Okay, so what do we have over here? Prospect monkeys, and other such things. We find the new statues, I guess. Well, again, we can just look over the video footage and find them, but we just haven't really explored a lot of this properly. Here are some other enemies from Bonanza Satellite Game Bonanza. And up there, yeah. The ones that solidify in light and darkness. What a gallery. Too bad we keep breaking it. Smashing everything up. Knowing where everything is afterwards. Case in point. Yeah, because in here we've got... What is it? Oh yeah, we've got the Void Trio over here. In the Place of Pride.
Oh, nice.
And did we... Oh, does this construct not build anything for me? Did we never build something? All this time we actually hadn't finished building construct zones. I mean, I guess this is one additional location for the zipline objective if we ever come back to DK Island for any reason. Which, given that we've already had our completions through 1 to 7 here, as well as events, I mean, I don't imagine it will be doing much more Emerald Rush here specifically, but you never know. I mean, we can take a look over there to see which statues were parked there too. If any. It doesn't really look like it. Well, if we can't find it at the moment, that's fine. We'll see where we can go. Oh, we should have switched into Ostrich first before we did this. Reflexes need to be a little bit sharper there, perhaps, but... maybe over here in DK's home, DK's nose, one of the two. I have no idea where they went. Oh well. Well, if we remember to show it off next time, we will. Next time we'll try to pay more attention too. Yeah, because this is where the Kong Bonanza statue wound up last time for the last challenge. It's kind of exciting that if the statues are really giving us plenty of coverage of... oh, here they are. The DK series on the whole, with 64 being covered, with Jungle Beat, and eventually we'll get some of the retro era figures as well. And who knows what else. I mean, there could be quite a lot more events coming, given that we're only 2 down so far. But okay, we will show off the fruits of our labor at the beginning of the stream earlier today, with Lanky and Chunky taking the Place of Pride. I think this will be a good place to close off for the time being. And so, we'll, again, probably be back here in Emerald Rush at least on a monthly basis for the events, and usually we'll try to make time to clear 1 or 2 levels beyond that. At some point we want to make a serious push towards 7, but it's going to require a bit more of a concerted effort to really push on this game specifically again, which is not going to happen for some weeks or even some months, I think. But it's good to have the events to bring us back here regularly and also just show us how much skill and memory can deteriorate even with a few weeks off. But that'll be all for now. And one other observation as well, I think, is that having recently got into Kirby Air Riders, which came out last week, and shown that off on the stream, there is such a likeness and synergy between Emerald Rush and City Trial in Kirby Air Riders, which of course originated as mode in first Air Ride, but it's kind of like Emerald Rush was incredible mental preparation for Air Riders, City Trial specifically, and playing City Trial is good mental preparation for getting back into this game, that it's just all about the routing at breakneck speed and trying to stay somewhat within some range of perceptual control. Anyway, Very happy with the progress today. Thanks for watching, and until we meet again at whatever destination lies before us, have a wonderful time ahead of you with everything you may be making or playing. Stay tuned for more of a return to Age of Imprisonment, where we're entering Chapter 5 and our presumably kind of mid to late game in the extreme that we're able to take. And aside from that, as always, fare thee well.